Welcome to Conversations Live. For more than a decade, we've brought you the best in books, entertainment, celebrity interviews, and current events. When the movers and shakers of the world have something to say to you, they say it to us first. Now celebrating 17 years of broadcasting success, here's your host, Cyrus Webb.
And welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again, both for our radio audience here in the South and our online audience tuning in, thanks to our friends at iHeartRadio and Amazon Music Podcast. Glad you all could be with us as well. As you guys know, I love being able to catch you guys up on new releases, and there's a new film coming out this month called HappyCleaners. I'm so excited to welcome the directors to our program, Julian-Kim, as well as Peter S. Lee. We'll talk to them not only about HappyCleaners, but also about the different layers that really tackle some of the big things that all of us know about, that being family, following a dream, relationships. They've been able to tie it all together in this film that really, I think, shows the importance of togetherness and what we can achieve together. If you guys are just now finding out about the film, of course, we'll let you know how to stay connected online. But Julian, Peter, thank you so much for the time. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah. The pleasure is definitely all mine. Julian, I'll kick things off with you. I mean, a busy month for you guys. You guys have been doing a lot of press already for HappyCleaners, but what does it feel like to finally have it available now for the world to be able to see?
I mean, it's been a long time coming. I think we started writing this probably like 2016, and, found production 2017, and, premiered in 2019, and let's skip over 2020. And then we finally got to release it this year, so it means a lot. I mean, we're really excited to have the world see it.
Yeah. And Peter, what about for you? I mean, as Julian said, it's been a journey for sure, but how does it feel now to be here for the world to be able to see the hard work you all put into this?
Yeah, I've echoed a lot of things Julian said, but I think the first thing that's on my mind, and I think a lot of, on our team's mind, is actually just thankfulness. We're really thankful that we're able to even have this moment, even though, like Julian said, forget 2020, but here we're finally able to share this story with the world. So, yeah, we're just grateful to have this opportunity.
Yeah. I want to talk about the story, Julian. As I mentioned to you all before we began the segment here today, I had a chance to watch it thanks to our friends at October Coast, and I feel like this is such a universal story. Did you know when you were writing it? Did you know that it was something that no matter who the characters might be, and they do an amazing job of bringing the story to life, is something that anyone could be able to relate to?
Actually, it was one thing that we fought for in the beginning, just kind of be very personal to us. And I'm really, honored and humbled by everyone saying that, it was a universal story and they related to it. But the approach we had was, let's make it very authentic and real and what's true to us. So we decided that let's not, sugarcoat anything with the story, with the character, the situation, but things that really we experienced firsthand. So going in writing, we said, we always had this vetting process. Be like, is this a way, a character would react, and do we know anyone who reacted in this way? If we were in this situation, will we react this way? And if there's anything remotely kind of felt fake, then we just kind of revisited that, and we just, we imagined it to be. Sorry, my kid is here.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Yeah. So that was our first approach to make sure that it's a very personal story, and surprisingly, everyone was really connected to that. And I think there's a beauty in the specificity that you could find universality. So and we were just really blown away by that. And we have people from different generations, different ages, and different backgrounds and cultures really saying, "Hey, I really connected to the film," and we were just so humbled by that.
Yeah, Peter, to that point, and that is what I think, here I am, a black guy living in Mississippi, in my home state, and I was looking at this film and thinking, this could be my family. I mean, I grew up with a grandmother who was very much into doing things a certain way, family first and staying together, and then my mother who kind of allowed me to be able to make my own decisions, and seeing how there were conflicts like this. What has that conversation been like for you, Peter, to be able to see something that you all did work so hard on, people being able to insert themselves into it?
Oh, I mean, it's tremendous. I mean, I think that any storyteller, when they write something, it's a method of communication, right? So to be able to have sort of this heart-to-heart moment with the audience, and when they resonate and receive it that way, and it's like the best compliment you can get. So we're extremely, thankful for that opportunity. And yeah, I think just a lot of the comments that we've been hearing were just they just see themselves in the film, and these are folks that don't have, they're not immigrants, they're not, or don't grow up, in a New York City working class neighborhood, but there's just something there that they all saw a part of themselves. So we were thrilled about being able to achieve that.
Yeah, and I think that's a great point. We're going to come back to Happy Cleaners here in a bit. I want to go back to your personal stories because it's your first times on our program this year. Julian, when did you first realize that you wanted to use a platform of film to be able to tell stories?
So I actually I was always interested in the creative field, like in arts, and my childhood dream was to be a cartoonist and animator. So I pursued that, and I went to art high school. But once I started taking classes and I saw like how much work was involved, I was like, I can't do this. I can't draw every single cell and image and sit here to do that. So I then kind of got introduced to filmmaking through a community church. And once I saw the beauty of it, and I saw that I can still tell a story, but with people around me, I was, this is like my thing. And that was like, I think when I was 14. And ever since, I just started making films for fun. I applied to film colleges and I got in, I studied. I was fortunate enough to, have a career in this field. And yeah, it's been a blast. And I really love the fact that I could, tell stories and connect with people through these stories. So yeah, it's really a beautiful medium for me.
Yeah. And Peter, what about for yourself? When did you first realize that storytelling through film was something you were interested in?
I think the idea of storytelling was always just something I had since childhood. But unlike Julian, I actually ended up going to a science high school, and we're stuck more to the traditional career path. And then it was just, I always had this interest in wanting to, do film. And, during the college era, that's sort of when, like, YouTube and everything kind of came up. So I always did run around and, shoot things with my friends. And then I think I was at an internship at a law firm, and I met a mentor there who just said, like, listen, you're young. Like, you love this stuff. What are you doing here? And that was the best advice I got. And, and then, I got to drop a little backstory. Julian and I, we grew up in the same neighborhood. We were, like, childhood friends. And, he was, like, that one guy who was always like, yeah, I'm going to be a film director since, like, I'm 14 years old or something. And, here we are. Like, a few years later, he's the one that's, like, in for his college thesis film. Like, hey, I need somebody who I can trust with my money to help me produce my film. And, with that, like, we're running around on set like two college kids, And, ever since then, haven't looked back. It's been
what an
quite a journey.
amazing thing. Yeah, a great journey that I think people can definitely learn from. I want to say for those who are just tuning in, either on the radio side or online, you're listening to Conversations Live. We're excited to welcome Julian-Kim as well as Peter as lead to our program. They're the writer and directors behind a new film coming out this month called Happy Cleaners. We're going to let you guys know how to be able to stay connected for the updates and, of course, be able to see it for yourselves. So, there's a few dates coming up. One's coming up pretty quickly, guys, depending on how our audience is joining us. Social media kind of helped us through the year that was 2020. It has helped us now navigate 2021 as well. Peter, how has that helped you guys to keep the word out there and to keep the momentum for the film?
Oh, yeah. So we were, every time we would sort of go to different film festivals, and we have sort of records and memories of that, just all the experiences, since releasing the film in 2019, like, we just kind of put up little reflecting moments, and I think folks were just always interested in the follow-up with, like, well, where can we actually see this? And, all throughout 2020, we're kind of, working towards this goal, and here we are in 2021. We're blowing up, writing on Instagram and whatnot, just sharing that it's coming out.
Yeah. Julian, did you all know that social media was going to be even before the year that was 2020? Did you all know that social media was going to be a way that you all kind of expanded the audience for Happy Cleaners?
No, not really. I mean, to be honest, we always knew, like, we wanted to make this film for the people and for everyone to watch, and we were brainstorming on what's the best way to connect. And social media, I don't know, I'm a millennial, but I'm still like, in like mid-30s. I'm not that familiar with it. Like, I don't even have a TikTok account. But I wouldn't say I'm a pro at it, but I felt like it's a great platform to really connect. And the kind of reactions of how you could really meet people is tremendous. And like Peter mentioned, like, people have been like DMing us being like, hey, how can we watch the film? And when is it being released? And this was like all throughout like 2020 and 2019. And, we were so eager to get it out there. And finally, like, once we actually like just changed everything and was more active on it, like, more and more people started to come on. And I got to give a shout out to KoreanAmericanStory.org and Hughes Pictures, because like they really worked hard to get the word out and connect with people and do the outreach. So yeah, I mean, it's really awesome that social media is there. Yeah.
Peter, we can't have this conversation without talking about the cast. I alluded to them earlier. I mean, this almost seems like the perfect casting, but I'm curious for you, what was it like for you, and then Julian, I'll bring you into this, to be able to see these actors, these talented actors, bring your vision to life?
Yeah, so I'm really glad we could talk about this, because without the cast, we don't have the film, and
right.
I think we mentioned that it was very intentional about being very specific to our experiences and being true to it and trying to be authentic to it. And being bilingual was a very conscious decision, and so we needed to make sure we found bilingual actors. For the kids, I mean, we figured that wasn't going to be too much of a challenge. The typical like online casting methods. You put up an ad and folks would show up for auditions. But mom and dad, that character, that was where we knew we would face a lot of challenge. And we're very fortunate that we knew Charles Ryu. He worked with us on another short film beforehand, and also because the introduction through our executive producer, HappyCleaners Stories, and he was just down to be our father character in Happy Cleaners, and then through our executive producer, we were also able to find the mother's character, Hyungma Lim, and she was a veteran stage actress 40 years ago in Korea, and then had moved here, had the whole immigrant experience, and then she kind of retired, and then she's ready to pick up acting again, and this was her first return to acting in 40 years. And so wow. With that, collaboration, I mean, all the characters that you see, this is sort of a life that they had lived, or they're very familiar with. And so for them, I mean, one line that, the mom's character always says is like, this wasn't acting. I'm just reliving it. And so, that's, I think, where you got the performance.
Yeah. Julian, anything you want to add there?
No. I think Peter nailed it.
Yeah. Well, I think, again, for people, and we're about to let them know how they can be able to stay connected with the updates and to be able to watch it. I think, again, the great thing about it is, yes, the cast is talented. The story is so well presented, but I think there's such a connection that you'll feel with it, and I think that's what will draw people in. I know that, speaking for myself, that's what drew me into it. But I also think there's a bigger message that I think even ties in now that I've talked to the two of you, and that is not to let go of your dream. Julian, was that something that you hope came through in the film, and something that you also kind of live by?
Absolutely. First of all, like, the matter of fact that you can even make this film was, not many filmmakers have this kind of opportunity, but the fact that we would do it was just a big blessing. And the fact that we can tell a story that's true and dear to us is even a bigger blessing. And through this process, there were a lot of healing, especially on my end, from on a personal level. just kind of reconnecting with my parents and understanding where they came from. Because, when we started writing the story, it came from kind of unresolved issues and kind of like, I guess, differences we had with our parents as growing up. But when we actually kind of put them together and we actually write the characters of mom and dad, and you get to be the character, you get to see a glimpse of what it's like to be, a mom and a dad kind of coming to this country and trying to raise a kid here, not knowing much, not having anyone, to help you out, and really setting new roots to a foreign place. And that really kind of gave a new perspective and really kind of a greater appreciation for their sacrifices. So, I was able to come one step closer to my parents and really overcome kind of differences we might have had in the past, and and develop a new bond. And I think that's what this film did for me, and on a personal level. But on an achievement side, we're just like really honored that we were able to make a film like this. It's a Korean American story made by the community. So I think it's a huge achievement in that sense. And the fact that we're able to now release it, I think we're just really honored and humbled by this journey.
Well, Julie, we're going to stay with you for a moment. For our audience out there that's just now finding out about Happy Cleaners, how can they stay connected with you guys online, as well as, of course, be able to find out how they can be able to see it?
Yeah, so follow us at HappyCleaners Film on Instagram and Facebook. We're having a digital release on February 12th, which is Lunar New Year. Celebrate it with us and watch it. It's on Amazon, Apple TV, iTunes, Google Play, YouTube. Just search it up. It's also going to be available for DVD on Best Buy and Walmart. Get your family over the weekend, watch it together, and maybe have a very enlightening discussion afterwards.
Yeah, well, I know they will. I know I have been telling people about it myself, and I appreciate the two of you, for telling this story, but also for coming on to talk about it. Again, everyone, writer and director Julian-Kim and Peter S. Lee have been our guests. Happy Cleaners is the film. You guys have to check it out. And Peter, Julian, it goes without saying, you guys are welcome back here anytime. Looking forward to speak with you again.
Yeah, we look forward to the opportunity.
Thank you so much for having us.
Glad to do it. And definitely want to thank our friends at October Coast for setting up this chat with us for today. And thank all of you, our audience, for tuning in to another great segment of Conversations Live. Until next time, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying, as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Live. Now let's go make today amazing. Take care.